Can I get a what? Let's go, chat. Let's go. Who choosing all these hoes? Happy Friday. Holy shit, I'm excited to sleep in. Any questions, chat? Calling Noob, Buzzo, Hey Blade, Cage Wins, Kuki Muti Tuki says pump to 107 for short liquidations. We don't know yet. We have to get above settlement. So yeah, you have your daily open right here, and you've got your settlement right there. So yeah, this would actually, I think maybe even turning settlement into support, you probably have a good shot. Obviously that's a funky low, but as we talked about yesterday, even if it is a funky low, it might be worth taking a shot. Because they might not wait they might wait to clean it until Monday. But yeah, as long as it can stay above settlement and daily open, basically, yeah, you would have a shot. Otherwise, the low is ugly as fuck, so it'll get swept. But I wouldn't be surprised if they wait till Monday to clean it. Today would be great. JPP says pixel on those hoes. Yes, sir. What do you think? Aim Talk says, what's the second box, Kimba? Basically, do you understand that the lows are bad? Can you tell that this is not finished? So if you're in a long, Aim Talks, which I would assume you are, you need to understand that that is a low that it is not worth dying for, which means if you're in a long, you never get stopped out at a loss. Okay, so at some point, I think maybe Monday, and this is what I was talking about not only yesterday, but Wednesday as well, is leave it like this, and then we'll clean it on Monday. That's why we were talking about how Monday is a better long. So you see how it says, Consuela, we need you? That's an SFP waiting to happen. So do you remember when we were talking about this? So if we're going to get an SFP, then, you know, if this isn't going to hold, then we're looking at this one next. So I'm just anticipating for what a swing fail could look like. So, you know, think. So I don't know if it's going to go there, and I certainly don't know when it's going to go there, but I'm already preparing for it. All right, Aim Talks, what do you think about the level? Not too bad, huh? Aim Talks, how long did I tell you? How long ago did we say, hey, 104, 105 is a better long than anything that you could possibly get up here? So it took a minute, right, to get to the 104, 105. This could take a minute too. All right, so just being prepared, brother. Good morning, Cowboy Crypto, Roth Boss, Niker. Cowboy Crypto says, I got stopped on first attempt with Pico bottom. That's okay. I got filled on the second one. I didn't put any blind limits in, so I wanted to see what the reaction was. Also, I don't know if you remember Cowboy Crypto, but we were talking about like some sort of structure like this, like a failed auction within a failed auction. And so there was a conversation that I had with you guys where I said it's going to be a brutal pullback. So you need to figure out if you're going to shave and re-enter, but your stop loss is going to be this low. And it never came. But I think this was a Wednesday conversation, but I tried to this is going to be brutal. And, you know, we got to get above here, which is what we were talking about just now. So obviously everybody knows that if we can do this, we're Gucci. But that's okay. I probably got filled when you got stopped out. I'm just kidding. I did though, probably. Crystal Guild Wars, what's going on? Thank you for the 5 gifted. Aim Talks is about a week. Yep. So yeah, Aim Talks, that's not a good low. So you just need to be aware of that. If that gets lost, then that's the next place that I would be looking for longing. Yeah, and honestly, Cowboy Crypto, This is another good long. Like, it might seem like it's kind of not, but the objective is to get above here and to get above here and to like actually start. I mean, if you get that, that would be worthy of a chase because you know your invalidation is any of these lows. So it's not too late. If you get back above like 107, then the new all-time high is very likely. Obviously, the only thing that kind of fucks us with that is the fact that it's a Friday. So, but yeah, you have plenty of opportunities, brother. So I wouldn't trip too much. AIM Talk says, I'm in a long from 105 now. Would you put your stop loss into winning area already? 100%. If you have a fucked up low like that, you would never let a long attempt turn red. So, yeah. All right, so let's see if we can get above what the fuck it is. Otherwise, we'll wait for Consuelo to show up. AIM Talk says, got stopped out. That's okay. So there's a couple of things in play right now, AIM Talks. This might be your first time that you're thinking about taking a long or a short on a Friday. And what you're probably not understanding is a lot of times on Friday, it's going to try to stop all the longers or shorters out and leave you behind. Or they're going to make a whole bunch of bad lows and bad highs that are going to get swept on Monday. So there's an element of historical pattern recognition that you're missing out on. Would it be fair to say that if you can't remember what happened before, you're trading that pattern or shape or probability for the first time every time? So there's a couple of things going on that you're just maybe lacking experience on is you shouldn't really be tripping about taking a long on a Friday, okay? It's lower volume today, and CME isn't going to really help you out as much as it could if it had more volume. All right, so you just kind of need to sit back, relax, and see what happens. Start paying attention to how many longs and how many shorts that you take over Fridays that end up working out. It's going to take a couple of months for you to kind of see your bias. All right. I mean, you can ask the OGs and veterans. There's probably people that took, 6 months or a year to finally realize why I say the things that I say. Like you don't really have to worry about being in a long or a short on a Friday if it's a bad high or a bad low. Don't really trade over the weekend. Don't get got. Just wait until Monday RTH. There's a reason why I say all of these things. If I were you, to answer your question, I would not long until this gets cleaned now. So if I were you, and if you already got stopped out, okay, I think the better thing, the smarter thing would be to be in a long where the low looks like it's finished. Okay, so you would want something like this. Okay, not like this. So AIM Talks, could it go and make you feel like you got left behind at this train station? Yup. That's exactly what they're going to try to do to most of the people today on a Friday. Okay? But is the right thing to do to wait until that gets cleaned? Yes. So, does it need to clean today? No. Is it going to try to fuck with you? Yes. Is it going to try to fuck with me? Yes. So make sure you get caught up. Make sure you get caught up. But the plan is pretty straightforward, I think. Everything's been talked about pixel perfect. So let me know if you have any questions. 12MT12 says, Kimba, what's your invalidation for a new all-time high? Like, what if the second box doesn't hold? 12MT, I'm assuming that you haven't been watching. I would love it if it doesn't hold. I don't think you understand. Yeah. You don't want to be the guy that just pokes their head in and out. Yeah. Do you know that I have pixel perfect short? Do you understand that I have shorts from here? And we got filled on that live? Yeah, I would love it if this doesn't hold. I don't think you understand. Chat, somebody help him. But if I were you, I would probably start watching from 2-3 weeks behind. Yes, I filled with you 111.8. Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I don't know if that's going to hold or not. I'm not here to predict the future. I personally would love 92. I would personally love 92. Yeah. But I don't know if it's going to hold or I don't know if it's going to reject. You know? So yeah, if this doesn't hold, then the next level is where, chat? What's the next level if this doesn't hold? And did you know that we've been preparing for that for the last couple weeks? Would it be fair to say that we've been preparing if that level doesn't hold? I don't understand. It's level to level. So some of you guys get way too excited, you know, over like $1,000 move. Well, what if this doesn't hold? Well, what if this holds? Well, what if this? Dude, I can't predict the future, but I know what the next level is. Spaghetti money. Easy money. Quit playing. Make sure you guys rewind and get caught up. It's pixel perfect. You didn't get stopped out? Nope. I haven't gotten stopped out yet. I almost got stopped out right there. But I would expect to get stopped out, Wando. But I don't know if you've been able to like follow along the whole week and how long you've been watching me. But brother, like 99% of the trades that I take on Friday, they get round tripped. Yeah, so again, I already anticipated that they're going to try to leave a bad low on a Friday. And so that's why I put stop loss at break even immediately, like you said. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that the low is not in. Do you know that? The low is not in. You know, could it go back up to like 107.6 over the weekend and then go and clean that on Monday and Tuesday? Sure. Yeah. But if you feel like you missed out on the long, you did not. Okay, Wando? Consuela is going to come at some point. I don't know if it's today. I don't know if it's Monday. I don't know if it's Tuesday. So maybe it would have been better to put stop loss below the trend line. No. Fuck no. No. This is going to make a lower low, Wando. I just don't know when. So you should never, ever take a loss longing a bad low. You can't. There's so many other situations where you have to roll the dice and you're going to have to take a tiny L. This is not one of those. So you actually can't let other trades run for a tiny loss, like putting your stop loss below or lower low. If you can't make sure to not piss away money on these scenarios. God damn, everybody just chill out and wait for that 103.5, man. JV, I'm going to tell you fucking right now. Like little bit. This would maybe make up like 15%, 20%. Okay? But brother, you and I both know that this is the sweep. So trying to get this is the R word. Okay? What you really want is this. That's the invalidation, right? If Consuela says, I'm done cleaning, then yeah, you're good to go. If she says, no, I'm not done. So you need to make sure she says she's done cleaning. It doesn't matter how low it goes. It could be this. I'm done cleaning. I come back Monday. Fuck. Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, you would want to start to change structure as you approach it. You know what I mean? Like, on the higher time frame, doing like a, you know, higher high, higher low as we approach that level is better than just shooting right up and running into it, for example. So have the AI tell me when you say something. Mr. Money says, I'm learning a lot from the highlight YouTube videos. That's awesome, brother. I'm putting together like official educational shit. So if you ever are interested in understanding like the basics of volume profile or fibs, you'll have an opportunity to watch like a quick 5-minute, 7-minute Kimba explanation. But always remember that all of my shit is always going to be like foundational stuff. You need to like go out and nerd out on your own after you watch my shit. But I have like some stuff to help you out with like the basics if you need it. All right. Any questions, you guys? Happy Friday. All right. Everybody hanging in there? As we always talk about, Lions, and I can't stress it enough, say it with me or just even mouth it with me if you know what I'm about to say. If you lose out on a trade, if you miss out or you get round tripped and you lose a trade, I can work with that. All right, maybe you took a tiny L, stopped out in tiny loss, whatever. You took, you lost a little bit of money. I can work with that. All the levels, as long as your entry is below 104.6, I think theoretically you did the right thing. And if your entry is going to be close to the 104.6, you just need to be aware of what it means to you for a bullish retest. So even if it goes up, you're thinking about retracements, and if it goes down, then that's easy money, right? So you should be good to go, I think. All right, but you also know that this is a ridiculously foo-foo trade. All right, so the real juice comes on Monday, right? Mo Guy says they front ran the 7.5 by $100 for Coinbase. Yeah, but give it some time. Maybe they hit it, maybe they don't. But you had an opportunity to prepare for that, Mo Guy, right? So you're not the guy saying, oh my God, I got front ran by 20 bucks. Yeah, but really, it's the 104.6 level, and then it's going to be the 106 on CME. So lots of work to do, and let's get juicy Maguchi, yeah? 3 more hours left. JV says, I'm not satisfied with my size. Pause. I think that's perfect for a Friday trade, brother. Because you're not tripping over the weekend. You probably don't care if you get stopped out or not, right? In a weird way, that's exactly how you're supposed to feel. You should always feel like, fuck, I wish it was bigger when you're juicing. And when you get stopped out, you're thinking to yourself, thank God it wasn't that big. But it's all good, big dog. At least we did a little thangity thang. I mean, right off the bat, when you see something pixel fuck the CME single print like that, you would think, okay, it's probably not going to go clean it or go lower until after RTH is paused, for example, right? Because you're just going to have like a cascade of CME contracts like TPing. So when you see something like that, you might think, okay, well, maybe over the weekend or maybe on Sunday or maybe, but after RTH, or maybe after you grab that single print to the upside, could you maybe have a reaction to the downside? So at least, JV, if you can kind of navigate through that, don't understand that for the next, 2 hours, it's probably not going to let you add anymore, right? So the question now becomes, do you want to shave at all on your small long? What do you think the probability is that you're going to be able to re-enter? And I don't know if you remember me talking about a failed auction off of a failed auction. So even if this hits the Consuela line, it wouldn't surprise me for a retrace all the way back down to 7.5 or 8.86 over the weekend. And then what would happen? It would have a shitty low on derivatives going into Sunday RTH open, which would open the door for what? So it's way too premature to be talking about, I'm not happy with my long position. Like, what do we, nah, it's Friday. Let Tuche up and just, figure out if you want to shave. There is a chance, right, that it's not going to go back any lower. Like, CME is done. It's ready to get nasty, nasty. So you know exactly what your entry is. You know exactly your position size. You know exactly what your realized P&L would be if you get stop lost, if you stopped out in profit here, here, and here. What's okay for you, brother? First things first, can we see what the reaction is at Mrs. Consuela's line? Is that cool? Would that be reasonable? And I feel like I kind of said how I think it's fair game to be in a long, as long as you're below 104.6. Because if you can get above the 106, you're looking at all-time high, right? So does it really fucking matter if you have a 103.5, 103.8 like me, 104, 105, 104.5, 105 even, if you're going to be looking at 115, 120? And so this is where, like, if you're really bullish, JV, you should already be executing like plan B, where you're allowing yourself to add and chase, and you're trying to figure out like what the next move is. Because I told you, there's two reasons why I entered right before the box. CME single print, right? Varying differences of point of control. It's a Friday. Everybody's going to try to get the 7.5, and it really doesn't matter at the end of the day how low it goes, right? It's about, can it close above the orange line, and can it close above Consuela? So, you feel me, JV? And then look at ES right now. I need to see if we're going to close above the VWAP. You've been here with me all week, right? Where it fucked me a couple times. Right here, right here, right here. Finally broke it, and then all we did was go here, level to level. Now we're back at this VWAP again. So I think you did good, brother. I think we did good, Right now, we can't lose, right? If it does this, we can't lose. It's already changed 5-minute structure. I hope your stop loss is at break even regardless. And then just get ready to, add or accumulate more if it wants to go down. Yeah, but watch out for that div. Did you see how I broke down the div on spot? Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that, bro. So, like, how sick would it be, whether it's the relationship here or a continuation from all the way over there? And then this is going to come into play. So it might actually be something like this. So here's what I would say, Snow Legend. I don't know how long you've been watching me, and I don't even know if you heard me say this earlier in the morning. And again, you got to see it for yourself. You can't just take my word for it. Most trades that we take on Friday, like I'm telling you, I'm not even exaggerating. Chat, tell this man I'm not fucking exaggerating. 80%, 90%, like literally almost all of them get round tripped or stopped out during the weekend or when Sunday CME comes back online. Alrighty? So I would say, I feel like I've been talking about this since Wednesday though, Snow Legend, which is you need to decide, you needed to have already decided, conceded, emotionally, mentally, that whatever long or short that you were going to take today, you're going to put that bitch stop loss break even. Imagine letting that long, which is probably, hopefully, right, in green for you, letting that turn red over the weekend. Like, I'm going to make you wear the dunce cap on Monday and sit in the corner of the classroom type of shit. You know? There's no reason to try and risk your hard-earned money on a low-volume environment and assume that it's going to work. So if we get lucky, brother, and we don't get stopped out, that's awesome. But the most important thing, Snow Legend, isn't so much about really making sure that we juice. It's about 100% making sure that we cannot lose. Okay? We may or may not juice, but it's not debatable if we're going to lose money, Snow Legend, on a Friday trade. So instead of praying to God that you don't get liquidated or stopped out for a loss, you're chilling if you get stopped out for break even. And you're ecstatic if you're not stopped out. That's the mentality going into the weekend. Does that make sense? I don't know if you really truly believe it, but do you understand how luxurious that is to be in a situation like that when there's going to be people tripping over the weekend because they're about to get liquidated or stopped out for a huge loss? So it's okay. I would for sure put stop loss at break even. I don't know if you plan on TPing any. Are you going to shave anything at 104.6? If it does find resistance at 104.6 or at that box, okay? Like, where would be the pullback where you would say, I'm going to close the whole thing and I'm going to re-enter? Like, you need to make sure that you have a plan so you're not going to get got. There's a couple of scenarios where you see something like this would not surprise me one bit, and then we do this when we come back on Sunday. You know, and it's not because of my personal opinion, it's what we've seen together hundreds and thousands of times, brother. So if we can get lucky, I'm right there with you, brother. Were you here earlier when I told JV, hey, I'm gonna, this is how I'm gonna enter? So you knew that I had limits here, right? And you knew that we've been waiting for this single print for quite some time. So I'm in a little baby thang. I could care less if I get stopped out, brother. Sounds good? Because if we wake up on Monday and we're stopped out and we need to get into another long, best believe you and we will be able to take another long. Okay? I know how I would chase this. Like, let's say, like, it depends what the markets are doing, but I know, like, what this is going to look like. I know what this is going to look like. I know what this is going to look like conceptually if I fuck all of that up. You know? So, and like I said, I think we all had a chance. I feel like I made it really clear. Like, any long entry below this, I think is like fair, because if you can get above here, you're looking for all-time high anyways. Daisy says shaved baby free roll. That's awesome, Daisy. That's awesome. What do you think about all this, brother? There's a lot of juice. You know, it really doesn't matter. I hope everybody can see that it really doesn't matter if you took a long or if you have a short still. Like, all of these things that we talk about, identifying levels, right? Identifying levels. Identifying bad lows. Understanding that it's going to get swept. All right? Identifying the sweep level, so you understand what you're going to allow yourself to chase and what you're not going to allow yourself to chase. Thinking about worst case scenario, right? Understanding that at the end of the day, the most important thing is going to be things like CME. And then, waiting for edge, You know, if you have this and you have this, you know, goddamn well, we're not, you know, I mean, if you can take it, but you know, you're going to get stopped out. Bugatti, we didn't get like bottom shorts, but that's okay. That's okay, because at the end of the day, we already have shorts trapped anyways. Oh, shit. So all I can see, ladies and gentlemen, is a hidden CVD bull div on the higher time frame. Regular time, smaller, right? Regular bull div. So first things first, you know that I like hidden CVD bull div. I fucking told you guys yesterday too, like it's holding, blah, 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 blah. So everybody had an opportunity to see it for themselves, but hidden CVD bull div, regular bull div on the smaller time frame, open interest on the higher time frame, open interest on the smaller time frame. How we doing? Consuela. No, I no finish. When do you think you're gonna finish? I have to go to. No, I don't know. I got dinner with baby girl. I don't know. Should I cancel my reservation or? Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. Have an amazing week. Maybe I pop in for a little weekend altcoin nerd out. I'm going to be testing the live trading overlay during the weekend. So if you see some weird shit, just pretend like you didn't see it. 3, 2, 1. Have an amazing weekend. Good.